It was 3 guys. I remember this like it was yesterday. It was 3 guys. And Jeremy's like, hey, man, I need to get that license back off you. And then we all get out the car, right? Just kind of intimidation factor, right? This dude says...
It was tense off the jump.
This dude says, oh, you brought your boys with you. No lie, no exaggeration. They go in the trunk, they go in the back seat. One of them got like a Uzi, one of them got a rifle, one of them got a pistol. Like they like on the main, at the gas station right there on Oakwood Ave. Sparkman Drive. But Jeremy did not move. Jeremy actually grabbed the license from the dude and was like tugging at it. And I remember yelling to Jeremy, I was like, Jeremy, get in the car. Like, in that moment, you don't know. You see your life flash before your eyes. I'm thinking my boy's about to get. I literally thought Jeremy was about to get shot because he was yanking and like not letting go.
I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level.
Hey y'all, welcome back. It's the Next Level Living podcast, y'all. Listen, we the #1 ranked podcast amongst anybody who like podcasts. It's literally your favorite podcast.
And
we back. Y'all, new week, new me. I'm excited to be here. How about y'all? Let's talk to the gang real quick. K-Hart, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Okay.
I'm feeling really good today. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I see you got Prince out, man.
I do.
Tongue out. He enjoying it.
Listen, don't say his name. He gonna start barking.
It's Atlanta weather? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jay, how you feeling, man? How the dog you feeling?
Control.
Ooh, good. Cool. I like that. Nah, for sure.
Hey, I feel like Holy Ghost got a choke chain on me. Y'all remember the choke chain?
Yeah, for sure. I do.
Man. I'm feeling good, bro.
Okay,
blessed.
okay.
I'm in a place of gratitude, man.
Good, man. I like to hear that, man.
Before I introduce our guest, I'm going to kick it back to Chris. Let her do her thing.
Okay.
All right. Our next level speaker spotlight today is Dr. Patrice Buckner Jackson.
Come on, Queen.
Ooh.
Y'all want to guess how much it was?
At least 5,000 for a gig.
Nah.
7?
No.
10,000, 20,000 a month.
We talking about a gig?
A month. In a month. She did 45K in a month.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
No, she didn't do 45K.
Yeah, won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Man.
That's crazy.
These are people, bro, that would have been speaking for free.
No, for sure.
And there are people that hope to make $45,000 in a year, and she did that in a month.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Speaking and changing lives, amazing. Shout out to Dr. Patrice, man.
Shout out. Congratulations.
She's such a beautiful soul. I hope she's coming to the conference this year. Yeah, she needs to be.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
On stage getting them Krystle Awards.
Exactly.
Hey, I just placed the first order.
Ooh.
They crazy. I brought Tracy with me, B, because she still controls the money. But she let me go a little crazy on the $250,000, the $500,000,
you brought Tracy where?
and the Icon to where I ordered the awards from.
And you said your reason was what?
Because she controls the bread.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? She be having a budget for things because, them be real Krystle awards we make.
Yeah.
They make the glass, the plastic one. Yeah. So I'm excited. So shout out to Patrice, man. And shout out to my brother, Brandon Montgomery, my brother. Man, we go back since 2000.
Even before that, high school.
Oh, yeah, high school.
He was
at Academy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know the LeBaron Jeremy.
Man.
Oh, man. You don't know the LeBaron Jeremy? When he had the green drop top LeBaron? Chrysler LeBaron?
I don't even know what kind of car that is.
He had a Chrysler LeBaron, bro. Drop top, green. Couldn't tell him nothing.
What? Bro,
that's how
But look at God. Look at God.
Bro,
it's not about me.
I got stories. I got stories for days for this man of God right here.
Give us one.
Absolutely, man. I'll take one.
No,
I'll take
give
one.
us a.
I want to be in order, dude. I don't know if I have permission,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? And it's levels to the stories.
We gotta know how deep y'all are.
I got some mediocre stories. I got some near-death stories. I have some.
No near-death stories for now. For now, right? Because this episode's about you. So if we get onto near death, I'm gonna want to hear so much. Let's just get us an introduction. Like,
how did you meet?
Stories,
when y'all was in high school, y'all met. Obviously, how did y'all meet? Like, was he like?
You know what? Jeremy was always popular. Jeremy was always popular. Like I remember coming up to Huntsville for college days, I believe, and my sister was older than me, so she was in college. And Jeremy, Norton, all those guys, like they were just the popular guys. And Jeremy was just a sociable person, so he was speaking to everybody. So I think when my sister was in college, I used to come up there and I would meet Jeremy. And Jeremy was like, "What's up, man?" Hey, yeah, take my number.
Yeah.
You know,
See?
that's just
But
Jeremy.
stay right there. Showing love to everybody. I've always been that person. No, bro. I'm just saying.
It's all good.
Because there's this narrative, B, that's like Jeremy's just angry and super passionate.
The narrative is not.
It's
You're
like,
Mr.
nah,
Next
bro.
Level. That's the narrative.
Well, Jeremy, you did have a nickname in college.
Oh, did
you did have a nickname in college.
It wasn't Mr. Next
Was
Level?
it certified level boy?
It was not certified level. It was actually Angry Man. It was actually Angry Man. It was actually Angry Man.
That face can get angry, man.
It was like you see the smile now, but in college, and it didn't take much. It didn't take
it
much.
took a lot, bro.
It didn't take
Like Pac
much.
said, I ain't no killer, but don't push me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I stayed in that place of love.
What kind of pushing though? Because it seems like
It just
Did it
depends
take a
on the
lot?
day.
I was a person.
did it
I
take a
remember
lot
the
of
one.
pushing, or was it just like a soft push? Like what?
Let me say this: the near-death joint. If we stand on principle,
Okay.
if we stand on business, I was really taking up for myself.
Well, your dad told you.
Well,
Your
standing my
dad
ground.
was the one that told you because something about you lost your license.
So
Fender bender.
we was at a club one night.
Yep.
Okay.
And alcohol had been involved,
Okay.
and I end up
Backing
into
somebody. Yep.
this dude that was a killer. You know what I'm saying? He had a few under his belt. And
But I don't think you knew that at the time.
I found out later.
Yeah, because
but
he was
I
like,
could
my
tell.
bad, y'all, my bad.
Yeah, but he was a real street cat. Like, I
Yeah.
could tell, right? And so we got into it, and it was a mess. But, long story short, I was like, bruh, money, like, I'll take care of the little damage, whatever it is, $1,500, like, whatever it's gonna cost, I'll take care of it.
Right.
And so he was just, and of course, we weren't about to file no insurance claim
Yeah.
and have
Right.
cops come.
Right.
That's what none of us
Right.
wanted.
Especially
Yeah.
now with that alcohol.
So he was just like, let me get your license. And I was just like, bet. So I gave him my license. I was like, we gonna clean this thing up. You know what I'm saying? And then, because his thing was like, I want some assurance. You ain't gonna just skip out.
And I need your address.
Yeah, so I gave him the license. And so.
to hold on to?
Yes.
No, wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
As in
Yes.
a couple
I thought you-
days overnight.
Yes.
Oh
So-
yeah, because y'all didn't have picture camera phones back then.
back
This
then
was
it
like
all
Oh,
different.
We
in
did
the
have the
dark
Nextel church
ages.
though.
Yeah,
We did have the Nextel
did
church.
have the Nextel
Oh,
church.
yeah. That's back when we was playing Atari.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
so
Like, it was like
Back
Sega,
then.
go ahead.
Like,
So we-
like Sonic
Yes.
was my favorite game
So,
back then.
Yeah.
so we linked up,
NBA
you know what I'm
Jam.
saying? And we met at a gas station to link up, to get the license back and to talk about the plan.
He's skipping some stuff. I'm gonna fill y'all in with the stuff. he's
Okay,
skipping.
so go ahead, bro, because I don't remember
So
everything.
basically, after Jeremy's telling us this story, he talks to his pops, and his pops like, Jeremy, get your license back.
Yeah.
Why would you have this man have your license? And Jeremy's like, you know what? You're right. Jeremy's like Kobe. It don't take much. You just give him a little motivation, and he's in there. That's all he needs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Can we
Jeremy,
stop it and compare him to like Grace like that? Can we compare him like to Patrick Beverly? Is he like
Oh,
I gave you Kobe. You see, I gave you Kobe.
You're talking about mentality right now. I'm talking about anger.
He had a Mamba mentality. It might have been a little diluted, but he had it.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
So Jeremy thinks it's a good idea to get all of the boys together. Now, a lot of these boys, church boys, and they, sometimes they act hard, sometimes whatever.
man.
But he gets, I would say it was a good at least 10 of us, 10 to 12 of us.
To go meet the
And
guy
like
for
three
the
different
ID.
listen, because Jeremy had told us they not.
Because so I found out from Norton later. When I told Norton my man name, Norton was like, bruh, yo, they gave
need
him
to take
his
some
name
backup.
for a reason,
Yeah,
bruh.
you need to take
Like,
some
he
backup.
got 3 under his belt. Two or 3. I'll forget the story because I could have been number 3, but basically he had 2 under his
And
belt.
he's not exaggerating.
No,
Honestly,
my
this
man
is-
was like real straight.
No,
Like,
this is-
everybody knew. And so Norton was like, bruh, that ain't the one to play with.
So y'all get there.
Instantly, and let me tell y'all what I'm hearing. Norton gave you a warning he's not the one to play with. And what he did was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to just hit my pops back and let him know, you know what? I'm going to just get my ID back once I get his bread.
He called his boy.
He stayed on task.
Yeah.
Instead of
He
calling
called
his
for
pops
reinforcements because he's like, he's not nobody to play with, so I got to make sure I have
The good
people
thing is at least he
around
didn't go
me.
by himself, right?
No, that's not the good thing.
Because
Because I know he wasn't going to be solo.
But
Yeah.
it's a good thing, but it's also can be perceived as a threat.
But everybody didn't jump out the truck, though.
No, let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
Let me tell you what happened. So we
Okay.
had at least 3. We had at least 3 cars.
Okay.
At least like.
And
full of
y'all was
people.
all there at
And
the same
some of
time.
these guys were some big Kevin. All
Like
these,
y'all was the mob.
Man, we had
Okay.
some big dudes, right?
Yeah.
And Jeremy gets out the car. We're kind of off in the distance because we didn't want to all
Of
walk
course,
up. Like,
of
you know.
course.
But it was like one guy get out and it's 2 other guys with him. It was 3 guys. I remember this like it was yesterday. It was 3 guys. And Jeremy's like, hey, man, I need to get that license back off you. And then we all get out the car, right? Just kind of intimidation factor, right? This dude says...
It was tense off the jump.
This dude says, oh, you brought your boys with you. No lie, no exaggeration.
Yes,
they go in the trunk, they go in the back seat. One of them got like a Uzi, one of them got a rifle, one of them got a pistol. Like they broad daylight on the main, at the gas station right there on Oakwood Ave. Sparkman Drive. They all these church boys and everybody else, man, I saw cats getting back in the car. They was like, nope, didn't sign up for this. I saw people turning around, literally, but Jeremy did not move. Jeremy actually grabbed the license from the dude and was like tugging at it. And I remember yelling to Jeremy, I was like, Jeremy, get in the car. Like, in that moment, you don't know, you see your life flash before your eyes. I'm thinking my boy's about to get, I literally thought Jeremy was about to get shot because he was yanking and like not letting go.
Jeremy never looked back to see where everybody else was.
And we're like, Jeremy, let's go. Then all of a sudden they realize it's getting kind of hot. It's like,
no, I seen them run, but I'm just thinking like, bro,
Jeremy was focused.
Bro.
Jeremy got the license. He got the license, but let me tell you what happened. That wasn't enough. He got the license back, right? And then they was like, let's go. They got in the car and took off. Oh, there's more. And took off, right? And so we're like, all right, cool. Jeremy's like, nah, man, let's go. Let's follow him.
He didn't say that.
Jeremy takes off following these dudes
with
down the highway, and we have to follow Jeremy.
Bro,
we're all...
But y'all already got back in your car, so what y'all doing?
Jeremy took off, so we had to follow Jeremy.
Bruh.
And then eventually, I think they just turned down the street, and it just kind of fizzled out, but...
And then but that night,
that was God.
I got with Gene, and then he rode with me.
You went back?
That's a whole nother.
Okay, you went back after that?
But the point is, we go back, and God has brought us a long way.
Watch this.
Yeah, that's just one of many. That's one of many stories.
God has brought us a long way. Did you know? Matter of fact, how long ago was that, B? Would you say at least 15 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So 15 years ago, and let me just show you how far God's brought us. On one of our previous episodes, we were just talking about him doing the actual same thing in a everything, and it was like about literally tracing somebody else that he was working with just a couple weeks ago.
But he's not the man he used to be, y'all.
But it sounds like
the man he used to be.
And so when he looked at that man and said, because he said a quote that I can't forget.
If I didn't have God,
he said if you was talking to a man that didn't have God in you, and I wonder if he was talking about his old self. I wonder if he was talking about the man that was true. So he was talking about him being the man with God in him presently and the man that didn't have him previously. He was looking at one person.
I disagree with that. Okay. I feel like Jeremy always had God.
Okay.
I feel like God was always, clearly God's grace was always over his life.
Okay.
Yes.
Always over his life. And I feel like Jeremy had him then, but I feel like most of us, we pick and choose when we want God to take over. And we have an idea of who we think we are.
Okay.
But then there's those times where who I think I am in Christ.
Got you.
You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
And Jeremy, because 1 minute Jeremy would be doing stuff like that, but then he would be leading prayer and doing everything at Vesper service. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
It was like a vacillation. It was like a real life. I'm conflicted. Because he really, whatever he did, he was intense, and he was all in. Whether we was out kicking it, whether we was out kicking it, or he was like really trying to get people saved. Like Jeremy was all in whatever he did.
Okay.
And I feel like because the call on his life was so great and so grand, and God knew all this, and then something was going to happen. It was like the enemy was like, nah, I can't let him go out like that. I got to do whatever I can, because if the enemy would have got a hold of him, Jeremy would have been the biggest, baddest, whatever that the enemy wanted him to be. But because God saw fit to not let that happen, then it's kind of like, nah, enemy, you had your fun, you had your time, but now it's time for Jeremy to go to the next level.
You are the first female to announce at WrestleMania.
My name is Lillian Garcia, and for 20 plus years, I had a thriving career as the host and the announcer for the WWE and the PFL.
Lillian Garcia is at the top of her game.
When I left my announcing career, I knew that I wanted to step on stages and empower people around the world. However, I didn't have the knowledge and the support of how to make that transition. Finding the Next Level Speakers Academy has been a true godsend. I have been so impressed with their program, from their online courses to their weekly online live training sessions, and also their supportive community of other speakers. It really has been an incredible, incredible program. Now, let me share with you that as a female speaker, this community has made me feel nurtured, heard, and valued in the speaking industry. This is truly a top-notch organization. And thanks to Next Level Speakers Academy, I get to travel the globe again, but this time as the main event.
Now that's dope. Now that's dope. I like how. First of all, don't ever shoot me. That wasn't.
My God.
He was just showing you the guns that they had that day. That was it.
I don't want to see none of it.
But if y'all ever heard the Uzi story, like my man literally put a Uzi to my face.
Different guy,
which made my blood boil. No, this was
this time?
This was the situation.
No, seriously.
Now we've heard bits and pieces of this story, but I've never heard the backside of it.
And I forgot
it was a real life Uzi.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay, because we've heard this part.
No vert.
So that was the actual. That was the actual background.
Facts.
Too. What you say?
I said no vert, but it's.
And I was thinking it, but for him, we just on the same page. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
I knew he'd appreciate
we locked in, bro.
But all jokes aside, me and Jeremy have known each other a long time.
That's dope.
It's one thing for him to get on stage and tell people about, who he used to be and some of the stuff that he used to do. But it's another thing, literally, we were sweet mates. It was you and Chris, me and G-Mar, Todd, and I forget that guy's name. You know what I'm saying? Like, we, every day, we would see each other literally every single day, and we would hang out every single weekend. And we had a lot of the same friends.
I'm excited to get into your story, but real quick, how does it feel knowing Jeremy this long and seeing just his growth and just seeing where God is taking him just personally as a friend, as a brother?
This guy's faithfulness, if he did it before, he can do it again.
Yeah.
And I think Jeremy's a testimony of, everybody's story's different. Everybody's journey's different, right?
Right.
But to see people that you know personally, God just move in their life in such a way. And of course, let's be real, because when Jeremy first started speaking and stuff, it's like, okay, is Jeremy really is he really? Right. But over the course of it, and I think he's grown. I think it's been a matriculation of even his walk with God, his own personal ideology of himself versus who God says he is. Right? And having to accept that. And just to be able to see that. And then you see that in others, and then you start to look at yourself. Because it's one thing to look and it's like, is this person this? Is this? But then it's like, what about you? Are you really this? Are you really that?
That part.
Most people only know you in the season that they walked in on. So the average person, regardless, depending on what chapter of your life they walked in on, that's how they see you for the rest of their life. You ain't gonna never be but this.
Exactly.
But also, people need to understand that bad chapters can create great stories. You see what I'm saying? So just because we had a bad chapter in our life doesn't mean that that's how the story ends. And Jeremy is a walking, living testimony.
For sure.
And the people, all of us have been influenced by him and just the things that he's done, where it's gotten to the point where it's like, okay, it's one thing to be influenced by him, but now I'm in a position where I want to influence myself.
That's good, bro.
We could be influenced and have the greatest mentors and people in our lives, but the greatest influence you'll ever have is the influence over self.
That's so true.
When everybody's gone, then you have to really live that next level.
Yeah,
you do.
That's good.
Dang.
That's good.
Man,
so I want to get into your story, this season of your life, forward and beyond. I've been following your journey, with your organization, your foundation, the work y'all doing in school, and the importance of it, man. Kind of talk about that. Like, where did that come from? What made you want to start this, this organization, this movement, changing thousands of kids' lives in schools across America? Like, where did that stem from? Talk about that.
I think, like most of us, we don't know what we want to do. Like I heard you say on the previous episode that you just, know what you didn't want to do, right?
Exactly.
So it's like, I don't really know what I want in my life, right? We go to school, we pick majors just because we have to, right? God bless the people that know from jump, like, I want to do this, and here's the path I choose to take. But that just wasn't me. I was just getting by however I could. And I really started to ask myself after I graduated college, like after all the fun times and this and that's, like, all right, you got to get serious now. What are you going to do? And I didn't know, man. I moved to Atlanta, I did sales, then I started working at Turner, and then I started doing it. And I was just like, I don't know. But I started managing some gospel artists, and I started kind of just rolling with different people and seeing and experiencing church outside the traditional setting of church that I grew up in, right? And I would go to these youth conferences, and I remember it was this youth conference, Acquire the Fire. John Gray was the host of it, and they would go from city to city, and it would be thousands and thousands and thousands of kids, and they'd be worshiping, and they'd be doing this. I was like, I really like the way this feels. Like, we're backstage, and it's thousands of kids, and it's some rappers can't even get that many people to show up at their show.
True.
And these kids are all hungry, they're thirsty, they need more in their life outside of whatever life has given them. And I was like, I love the way this feels.
That's dope.
I love, it's something about this. If I could do something similar to this, I would love to do that. And so just time went on, and I ended up moving to Houston, and the opportunity presented itself for me to become a a director for this organization where they specifically managed and mentored middle school students.
Wow.
Now, that's a crazy dynamic because I don't know if y'all realize, but 7,000 students are dropping out of school every day in this country. 7,000. So that's like, you take a student, you stack them in a desk until you reach the height of the Empire State Building. Now, you do that 12 times. That's how many students are dropping out of school in this country every single day. And what I realize is middle school is that weird time where you don't really understand.
And
Puberty is happening. First time crime happens in middle school. First time drug use is happening in middle school. Sexual exploitation, all that's happening in middle school, right? And what happens is students check out mentally in middle school, but then they get to high school and drop out. Then after that, they feel like they don't need school. Then they just trying to get by in life and whatever. So I started doing mentorship for middle school students and saw the need and how crazy it was. And then I realized, like, yo, I want to do this more and in a different way. And I was like, why don't I just create and establish my own organization? So my wife, one day, she saw the need and how I wanted to do that. She was like, hey, yo, I went and got you a LLC and a nonprofit, and I already got the business name, and it's going to be called Forward and Beyond.
What?
And I was like, talking about your support system, right? And I was I was like, that articulates what I wanted to do because I was doing something. A lot of people, we got to be careful because a lot of people say they're a mentor, but they really just going and patting themselves on the back and they're not really influencing and affecting the life of the person that they're mentoring. They just like to say, I'm a mentor, right? You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to do so much more because the students, I was in Texas and Houston. I mean, the cross street of the middle school was where all the prostitutes were walking up and down. So people are getting out of school, seeing their mothers, their aunties, their older sisters prostituting. I had a kid in my program, he come to school and sat down and ate lunch like nothing was wrong. The police came and got him because he shot and killed somebody at the gas station in middle school and came to school like nothing happened. So this is the type of issues that we're facing. We're not facing, don't tell a little white lie. No, these kids are facing real life issues. And so that's why I wanted to do something more than what I was doing. And so that's when Forward and Beyond was created. And we're helping to change the lives of students, changing their perceptions, their possibilities, their process, and ultimately their progress.
Yeah, so how do you do that? Do you go in and you speak? Do you have like workshops? Like what is the process?
So different from the average mentoring program where they come in for maybe about 6 weeks or, different times throughout the year. We're there the entire school year.
Okay.
So we come for 7 weeks at a time. So we'll come at the beginning of the year for 7 weeks. Then we'll break for the holidays, come back after Christmas holidays, and the beginning of the new year, come for another 7 weeks. And then we'll come back towards the end of the school year for another 7 weeks. Why? Because we realize that repetition deepens the impression. And a lot of these students, man, they get people coming in and out, but it's like, hey, man, we need to consistently tell you who you are. We need to consistently show you who you are so that you actually start to believe it.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, what are some of the activities that you do with them?
So we'll have a lot of different things. Everything's focused around our core values or our principles. Again, those perceptions. Number one, how do you see yourself and others, right?
Okay.
So we'll have different people coming in from the community to expose them to something bigger than just, I just want to be a soccer player. I want to be a basketball player. I want to be a football player. That's traditionally in the Title I schools that we're in. That's all these kids see. That's all they want. That's all they focus on, right?
Exposing them to different
But
stuff.
we're exposing them to that. So we do that. Change your perceptions of how you see yourself and others. Then possibilities. Think bigger. Think better. Think beyond. We take them different places, different universities, different things, team building exercises and activities, different camps, just so that they can see themselves outside of their neighborhoods. A lot of these students don't even make it outside of their neighborhoods. They just
stay within their community.
They were surprised when you take them to a grocery store and they see the automatic opening doors. That shocked them.
Wow.
That shocked them, bro. Because they used to just go into the corner store. They're just going and get cigarettes for grandma and do this at the corner store.
No, that's
and that's real.
The fact that the exposure those kids are getting.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that before. It's like you take them to a grocery store where it's actual produce. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if
they lose their mind, bro.
Yeah, some of our listeners, some of our viewers, they probably don't realize, like, that's the norm for us. But for some folks, they literally is just shopping at the corner store, like at the gas station.
Yeah.
So you've had the program in Houston?
Yeah, Houston,
South Carolina?
and South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And so is it to a point now where you can now branch off and have other people facilitated in different states? Like, what's next?
So the goal I know a lot of churches really want to have an imprint in the community, right? They say that, but it's like, what are we doing to get outside the four walls? So the goal is to connect with youth directors, youth ministers, different people that already have a following, and you can get mentors and different people to want to be involved. And you go to these youth directors, you go to these churches, say, hey, we have a direct inroads. A lot of schools don't allow you to come in as a ministry, right? Some do, but most public schools won't allow you to come in as a ministry. So you come in there as a character education program that focuses on social, emotional learning.
Come on.
And you utilize the people that are already used to talking to the youth. Now what you're doing is you're opening up yourself to a whole new demographic. These kids ain't coming to your church, not on their own, not unless somebody's forcing them or bringing them. And a lot of the parents ain't coming to the church, right? And so you're coming to them, you're meeting them where they're at, right? And then you're talking to them about all the different issues. We have our own curriculum where it's all written out. All you got to do is show up. We got games. Everything is from the time the program starts to the time it ends. We feed the students. We make sure, because a lot of these students, I realized that was their only meal. Their last meal for the day. When our program, they weren't focused. They were lethargic. And it was like, what's going on? They were like, we haven't ate since lunch and we're not going to eat later because mom don't get off till 10. We don't have nothing in the fridge. And so we started feeding the students. That way I met your physical needs before I met your emotional.
Absolutely.
That's so good.
And a lot of times we're so busy on changing the world and doing this, but
it's basic
hungry.
human needs.
But they hungry. They tired. So just being attentive to where they're at, because a lot of these students, they don't know how to come up to you and say, hey, I'm struggling. Yo, my dad hit me last night. Or my grandfather touched me, but so you got to be very attentive to their basic needs, and then once you start doing that, then it's kind of like, I want to open up and tell you more about who I am and what's going on. And so being able to have different churches, different organizations adopt schools and go in there, already have the program set in stone. They just have to be consistent and intentional with what they're doing. Then that way we just continue to expand.
I think it's beautiful, bro. It reminds me a little bit of like the Grace Tour. When I see people's in churches, their heart posture, it's like they want to go out. And so I remember people will see what we were doing the Grace Tour and will say, man, we want to be a part of that. And that would get me excited because it's like, sometimes they got to see it. So when you was like, man, there's a lot of churches that they want to make the impact. They don't know how to get in. But now your program can be, a brilliant way to say, hey, you can get in.
For sure.
You put on the Forward and Beyond shirts. You come in under our program, but y'all meet in the parking lot and can pray. You're going to pray over the school. You're going to know. It's almost like, it's like a special ops.
Absolutely.
It's like we undercover. We up in here with the Holy Ghost. We're going to come under a character education program. We're going to talk about social emotional learning, right? But we also bringing in a spirit of peace and God's love into this place as well. And that's going to be a game changer, bro. And I'm excited to see what that new season looks like as you tap into more youth leaders, more youth directors, more family life, people that say, man, I want to go out here. It's like discipleship in a sense, bro. And then you start multiplying and duplicating yourself. Like, I'm really excited because that's something we weren't able to do as the Grace Tour. We had a few youth directors to say, man, we want to have one here, we want to have one there. But it was hard for us. We just didn't have the framework for it. But I'm proud of what you built because you got it.
And that's not something that's going to ever go out of style. Like, you have generation after generation. Each year, it's a new wave of people. That you're gonna need that long term, you know. So it's like, if you build that brand across the U.S., like you're gonna have more requests than you can even hold.
And then you could probably do it like a weekend where they can fly to Atlanta, fly to South Carolina, get the training, or you train them 2-3 days virtually. Let's talk offline because I'm
you already know. But we've already been talking. But but you know what it is though. At the end of the day, it's simple. Everybody, and I think y'all can attest to this. Everybody wants to attach themselves to something bigger than themselves.
Absolutely.
That's really what the conference, right, for instance, that's coming up. You got so many people that are going to attach themselves to something big. Everybody's great in their own right. But this ain't about me. It ain't about me. It's about how I can better my knowledge of what I'm called to do so that I can have more of an impact on others, right? And what we're doing is, even though everybody's meeting in Atlanta for the conference, they're going back to their respective places and they're creating a common language and a common culture based off the information that they learned and that they're going to obtain. And I think that's what it's about. I was listening to one of your episodes and y'all were talking about it. And I know this sounds backward, but I was like, man, y'all are getting ready to have a conference with a room full of empty people. And I said, what do you mean, Holy Spirit? And it said, everybody is coming. These are people that have poured and poured and poured of themselves.
Come on,
And
speak
so they're
it.
going to be empty, ready to be filled.
Up.
These people are ready to receive, ready to fill, so that they can go and pour. Because what you don't want to do is pour from a bucket with holes in it.
Absolutely.
Because what happens is people take, and the bucket has holes, and I'm being drained, and I can never get filled. And so what happens is we're filling those holes. They're coming to the conference. They're going to fill those holes so that they can receive from the overflow. You don't have to drill a hole at the bottom to get what I got.
Come on.
Man.
I need you to get what I got because I'm so full and it's overflowing and it's pouring out. And that's what's going to happen.
I need you to
quote.
That's a quotable.
No more empty vessels.
That is a quotable. I want a room full of empty people. That's a quotable.
And he said you don't have to drill from the bottom to get what I got. You can get from the overflow. By us doing it the right way.
Because I'm full and then therefore so will you.
That's different. Listen, I've been quiet this entire episode and it's been intentional. I wrote some questions down in my phone because you said so much stuff that I wanted to hit on, but the conversation has been so potent that it's a blessing when you get a chance to be in an episode that you're actually growing from.
Wow.
And I'm sitting here listening to you, bro, and I am literally, my heart is just happy.
Yeah.
Because when
you know
I tell
me too,
you,
Mike. You know us from college
bro,
too.
oh, for sure, bro. Not only that, man, but the way my heart loves this age group that you're talking about, and I never knew specifically why. I just, number one, okay, don't let this be a distraction too much, God, but I just don't generally like little kids, right? Like not in a way like I love God's children, but if you're not related to me, get that disobedient, excited kid away from me, bro.
Oh my God.
I don't like to keep repeating myself, right? I don't like to have to keep going through the follow-up with little, but there's something when a child gets to this age group that you're talking about, that you give them accountability, trust, and then responsibility, right? But a lot of people, when they find out that I mentor a lot of middle school and then high school kids, they're like, oh, that's a tough age group. So for me, I don't realize that it's tough because I just have a love for them. And I'm ready to do the work that comes with them. But for you to choose this group, to list off the statistics and stuff that you know about them dropping out of school, about them doing their first different type of crimes and drugs and different stuff, you know the challenge that you're getting yourself into. What made you target this group specifically?
I think a lot of people said what you said, like, oh, that's a tough, so you say middle and high, oh, that's a tough age group.
Right.
It's tough because you're not relevant, you're not relatable, and you're not relational.
There you go.
Anytime that you can be relevant, relatable, and relational, I don't care what age. It could be senior citizens, it could be elementary kids, it could be, you got them.
That's good.
And so when you're able to speak their language, when you're able to empathize, and you're able to see things outside of the lens of your own experiences and biases, then you're able to do so much more. And a lot of people aren't able to do that.
And two, you probably don't talk to them like they little kids.
No. They get enough of that
at that age, and their parents too, probably like stay in a child's place. But you're like, no, you're a young, like almost teenager, adult, whatever. You're gonna be right now. This is conditioning to who you're gonna be as an adult. And so you're speaking to that person, whereas most people still treat them like kids. So I think that's the difference too, in how you relate, because you also talk to them like that.
For sure. And listen, that it's so beneficial to just see a human being, not an age, right? And so I think that takes them to the next level. Listen, I got one more question. I got to get it off because you're doing some successful stuff at this point, but you just said something that it was early on, and it just rocked me. And I just have to give you a chance to highlight this.
Okay.
You said when I started going into this journey and decided this is what I wanted, you said that your wife surprised you.
That was dope.
And went and got the LLC, told you the name of your company, that this... First of all, shout out to your wife, man.
Shout out to my wife.
Shout out to the first lady, man. Like, I so much love and respect for you. But, bro, when did you know that your wife was all in on what you were passionate to do or what you were growing to do, and how much has her support grown you as a man and pushed the vision and I guess the brand of what it is that you're becoming?
Well, I think when she came to me and told me, here's what I already did. It's not like, hey, let's talk about this. Let's try to make it She said, here's what I already did. It's already paid for.
Yeah.
It's paid in full.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's different.
You talk about the love of Christ. Everything that we've done is paid in full, right? And so I saw Christ's love through her in that moment into a vision that I wasn't even that sure about or didn't understand where it was going and what it was doing.
Yeah.
But when I heard those words, forward, it's almost like when you first time you heard next level, right?
Yeah.
It's when I heard forward and beyond. I was like, none of us were designed to stay stagnant in life, right? We're all designed to move forward. But forward is for you. Like, you got to move forward. But then when she said beyond, that's when you affect the lives of others.
Come on, B.
And so that I said, wow. Like, and I don't even think she realized in that moment what she did or said. And I was
Moving in the
just like,
spirit. That's it.
Yeah.
that's something I'll never forget. Number one, it's the name of our organization, but also it's a mantra. It's a mantra. Like, hey, we want to move forward in life, and we want to take people with us. I got a buddy of mine here right now that was a mentor in the program in Houston, and he's just continuing to grow. And so it's just evolving and seeing how you can evolve, but that seed had to be planted, and she planted the seed, man.
You know, Jeremy loves marriages. He's always talking about how he wouldn't be where he is without his wife, different stuff like that. Bro, can I just put you on the spot real quick and just give your wife a shout out and just tell her how much she means to you in terms of like where you're going and where God is taking you? Like, would you just give her like a quick shout out just for that, just for her real quick?
Listen, Heather, I love you. Words cannot describe how valuable you are, not just to me, but to our family, but also to the families of people across the world that will never be able to say thank you.
That's dope.
Just the capital that you're adding, the social capital that you're adding to the lives, and the man that you've helped me become, and you are still helping me evolve into an amazing man. Thank you. Thank you.
That boy Mike trying to make sure you get some extra love when you get out.
I'll see you later.
I'm just telling you, if I love her the way that he's made me appreciate her just from listening to this episode, I already know that it's there. I'm just letting the seed grow, man. That's dope.
And to the cast that's watching, that's like, man, how come my wife didn't do that? Let me tell you something, bro. What didn't happen is Heather didn't just say, my husband's sitting back eating cereal all day, playing video games and hooping with his home. Let me create something. She already saw the work you was doing. She already saw your heart. She already saw how you was mentoring. She saw how you was leading at different churches. She saw something inside of you. And that made her say, okay, I want to go and be a part.
And she did it in a graceful way. It wasn't like, hey, you need to get up and you need to. No, I'm going to help you.
And I'm seeing what you've done. I'm going to help take you forward and beyond. So people say, oh, man, Tracy quit her job for Jeremy. It's like, but she saw the work that I was already putting in. So to the cat that's like, man, how come my girl not doing that? You got to ask yourself, like, was you making moves like Brandon was making moves? You know what I'm saying? Like, was you serving the way that he was
You
already?
want to know what's funny? She's more excited to come to the conference than I am. Not saying that I'm not excited, because she does marketing and she does, like, she's a guru on social media and all that stuff. But bro, I didn't even tell you this. For the last 6 weeks, every Sunday, she's watching the nuggets that you're dropping. Because she's like, how can I grow what God has put inside of you? Because she knows Forward and Beyond is going to take care of itself. And that's the other opportunity for other people. But she's like, Brandon, you have something. She's been saying over the years, man, get back with Jeremy, get back with Jeremy, get back with Jeremy. I just feel like that could be something amazing. And she knows that my heart for speaking and my heart for just reaching other people. But she's like, I can't wait to go to that conference so I can learn, so I can build the business and build the ministry so that our children and other people's children's children have something to be influenced by.
And y'all on record, before Jeremy goes in, Deani, and y'all back there, make sure y'all get his wife's name. But I already know you next level, but I'm just telling you right now, you know we got to get a testimonial from her, right? Because if she got that excitement before the conference, we have to talk to her once it's done.
She can't wait, bro.
We have to talk to her once it's done, man. Man,
shout out to those of y'all that's planning on coming to the conference, nextlevelspeakersconference.com. Man, Brandon, I appreciate you, man, answering the call that was on your life, bro. I appreciate your heart posture. You know, I know more of your story that we haven't even talked about. I know the different platforms God has allowed you to be in, the rooms you've been in, the people that you've been like a support, a compass, an armor bearer to. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to know I know that, and I see you, and I'm excited to see this journey that God takes you on. The same way that you're helping these young people across America go forward and beyond, man. My prayer for you, bro, and my prayer for everybody that's watching and listening, is that you go forward and beyond what even Heather can see.
Yeah.
And I pray that you go forward and beyond whatever you think you have in mind. I pray, man, that God looks up and blows your mind, and you look up a year or two from now like, okay, I didn't think I'd be experiencing this. I didn't think my life will be bearing this type of fruit. Like, we serve the God of exceedingly and abundantly. That's Ephesians 3:20. So I love the forward and beyond, because it's like we're going to go forward and beyond what you can even think, beyond limitations, beyond budget constraints, beyond our own capacity, man. So that's my prayer for you.
You don't know what you're saying.
So,
and everybody else.
And I want to tell you,
man.
thank you for your yes,
absolutely.
Jay. Thank you for your yes, because it's affecting the lives of so many. So thank you.
And one last thing, where can people like find you? Where social media, website, how can they tap in and get your,
Thanks for asking. They can go to forwardandbeyond.org. Check out our website. You can also go to Instagram _forwardandbeyond, or just @forwardwithbrandon.
Okay. All
just like that. Y'all tap in with bro, man, and we'll see y'all next week.
Yes.
I'm on another level.